Okay. Hi, my name is Hannah. Welcome back. I've got a very fun video today. I think it's fun. Ooh, I can't see this. Okay. So my laptop's gonna just have to be right in front of me. My series rereading plans video is on its way. That's just requiring much more pre-writing than I was really accounting for. So we're doing something that I mentioned in my last video that required me to take a bunch of books off my shelf. So I'm going to do 1-sentence reviews of every book that I read in 2020. Why not? So we have a huge mix here. So I have this stack and I have 2 other stacks that are about the same height. I'm already hoarse. I have no clue how long this will take. There are 95 books total. And I will be giving vastly varying levels of review of each of them. Hopefully Ruthie should be pretty quiet. I've gotten so tired of trying to edit around her like breaking toys in half that I got her an enrichment toy that's made of like heavy rubber that she is just completely shredding on my bed, but it should keep her a little quieter than normal. So all right, so enough dilly-dallying. 95 books. First up, Normal People by Sally Rooney. I love this. This book is amazing, but you don't need me to tell you that because everyone probably already has. Second up is The Incendiaries by R.O. Kwon. I don't remember anything about this book. Sorry. Sometimes that happens. In Such Good Company by Carol Burnett. Really great because I love the Carol Burnett show, but a lot of this book is just descriptions of sketches from the Carol Burnett show. So maybe instead just watch the Carol Burnett show. Layer of Dreams by Libba Bray. I was rereading all of the Diviners books before Kim Crow's came out. I really like this one, even though it is kind of slow, and it doesn't match any of my other Diviners books. Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray. Far too much happens in this book. The Heart's Invisible Furies by John Boyne. Completely tragic and beautiful, and I loved it. Around the World on $50 by Christopher Schacht. Shockingly evangelical for a travel book. Mostly just about how odd he found the religions in the places around the world that he went. This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El-Motar and Max Gladstone. Very beautiful, pacey, very short. Loved it. Emma by Jane Austen. So funny. I watched it for the movie, and the movie was also great. The Dutch House by Anne Patchett. I don't remember a lot of details, but I remember that I liked it and that Tom Hanks did the audiobook, which is nice. Catch and Kill by Ronan Farrow. Sometimes truth is scarier than fiction. Good podcast, too, that goes along with that. Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. Wretched. Torture porn. Too long. Not worth the trouble. Sorry, I know everyone loves that book. Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater. I need to reread The Raven Cycle because I was kind of lost. It's been a couple years, but I liked it, but I was lost. The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. A fine enough thriller, but the biggest thriller of all is A.J. Finn being a complete grifter his whole life. At the Edge of the Universe by Sean David Hutchinson. So lovely, but everything he writes is so lovely. The King of Crows by Libba Bray. A very unfortunately disappointing ending to one of my favorite series. She should have done 6 or 7 books like she planned to. Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I thought it was going to be Rosemary's Baby but dumb, but it was actually Get Out but dumb. The Green Road by Anne Enright. Again, I don't super remember the details. I'm pretty sure I liked it, but all of my Irish coworkers were roasting me because I'd never read any Anne Enright, so now I have. The Devil All the Time by Donald Ray Pollock. What? Louder Milk by Lucy Ives. Just say you hate everyone in the Midwest and call it good. Also a perfect example of why more complicated language is not better language. The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. Very cool, classic, pretty spooky, very short, but somehow still could have been shorter. The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead, incredible. Star Wars Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray, my first Star Wars book, such a pleasant surprise, incredible audiobook. Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami. They just kind of all bled together. Kino was my favorite story though. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Bizarre pacing problems. The last 100 pages were incredible. Fleischman is in Trouble by Taffy Brodesser-Akner. I think you don't like dating apps. That's okay. The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. Pretty cute, pretty original, but Tiffy was just completely helpless. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. You never have to wonder how big a female character's boobs are. He will tell you. The movie is significantly better. Platform 7 by Louise Doty. Not really a thriller, but still really good. Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I got suckered into reading this, and it was fine enough, but it's Harry Potter fan fiction. I liked it enough to read the sequel. True History of the Kelly Gang by Peter Carey. So bizarre and stylish. So unique. The Great Believers by Rebecca Mackay. This is one of the greatest books I've ever read. It's beautiful. Here Are the Young Men by Rob Doyle. I hated reading this. It was an unpleasant experience, but I like that he said where all of the things in Dublin are, because I was missing Dublin when I read this. Brooklyn by Colm Tobin. It's just so lovely, but I always joke that I did a reverse Brooklyn when I moved from a small town in the US and moved to a big city in Ireland to work in a shop, and I didn't know anyone. By Order of the Peaky Blinders. This was a very fun read. I think I was probably hoping for more like historical context, but it's still very cool. And I love Peaky Blinders. The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I read this without knowing there was a kind of fantastical element to it, so I was very confused for part of it, but I ended up loving it. The Blinds by Adam Sternberg. I haven't heard many people talk about it. It's very unique, but I liked it. It's just very weird. Something your dad might like, honestly. The Apocalypse of Elena Mendoza by Sean David Hutchinson. It's probably my least favorite Sean David Hutchinson that I've read, but it's still pretty good. The Republic of Thieves by Scott Lynch. I liked this so much better than Red Seas Under Red Skies, which was a huge relief. Das Reboot by Raphael Honigstein. This was a complete treat to find this book as a fan of German soccer, but it would have been even better if I'd read it before the 2018 World Cup. Your House is on Fire, Your Children All Gone by Stefan Kiesby. The scare factor wears off when every reveal is basically the same, and the reveals are children doing sex crimes. Yeah. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Another huge pleasant surprise. I need to listen when so many people say that this is very, very good. On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. I didn't really love this. A lot of it felt like open mic slam poetry, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. I'm sorry, I know everyone loves that book. Notes on a Nervous Planet by Matt Haig. This book is supposed to be a comfort for anxious people, but it just made me anxious as hell. The Most Fun We Ever Had by Claire Lombardo. This book is over 500 pages about kids watching adults have sex. And they leave out the fact that ginkgo trees smell really bad. Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. Such a fun book. This was a reread because I was excited for the sequel. Deathless Divide by Justina Ireland. The sequel, I didn't really like it. It felt like it should have been 2 books. Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. Brilliant. Hits that sweet spot of really readable while still being very, very smart. Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. Stupid as hell. Really dumb. Didn't like it at all. Country by Michael Hughes. Another one that I'm kind of surprised more people haven't read. The review is the pitch. It's an Iliad retelling set against Troubles era Northern Ireland in the form of a thriller. I don't know what more people want. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins did that thing that prequels can do where they just kind of serve to undermine the original canon. And the writing was super weak for Suzanne Collins when we know she can do better. Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. People say that you usually love one Sally Rooney and hate the other. I loved Normal People. I liked Conversations with Friends. Okay, bye. The casting for the TV show seems like a mixed bag. Severance by Ling Ma. Brilliant, eerily prescient. What did Ling Ma know, and when did she know it? Hamlet by William Shakespeare. I think I'm too dumb to read Shakespeare unassisted, but I liked it. Me by Elton John. Pretty hard-hitting for a celebrity memoir. There was so much pop culture history in here that I was completely unaware of, which is cool. You Should Have Left by Daniel Kellman. This was alright, the movie was bad, but I love this. I love this object. I love it. Born by Jeff Vandermeer. I think this is the most I have ever understood a Jeff Vandermeer book. Go Tell It on the Mountain by James Baldwin. Beautiful as usual, horrifically timeless as usual for James Baldwin. Solitaire by Alice Oseman. I know I liked it okay, but I don't remember anything about this book. Lovecraft Country by Matt Ruff. I liked it. It sometimes felt like a white person writing about Black people for white people, like explaining things that are kind of givens. I'm very interested in the TV show though. The View from Flyover Country by Sarah Kendzior. I want to hit people over the head with this book. It's amazing. The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel. Beautiful. I thought about this book for weeks after reading it. I think I even liked it more than Station 11. You Are Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I didn't care for this. I think I have liked each of this collaboration's books less than the previous one. Theft by Finding by David Sedaris. Very much like it's literally just diaries, so it's not like a real page turner, but interesting nonetheless. Axiom's End by Lindsay Ellis. I love this. I love Lindsay Ellis. You see the footprints of Transformers all over this. They're There by Tommy Orange. He's one of those complete chameleon writers who can change his voice from character to character, and that's something that is so impressive to me. The Absolutist by John Boyne. John Boyne does this thing with pacing and reveals and time jumps for just maximum tragedy. 9 Stories by J.D. Salinger. Pretty good. I think I only understood about half of it, and half of that I found alarming. Regeneration by Pat Barker. There was a period of time where I was reading this and The Absolutist at the same time, which was brutal. Also, I want to say 2/3 of the way through this before I realized that Siegfried Sassoon was a real person. The House of the Scorpion by Nancy Farmer. This was one of my favorite books as a kid. I don't know that it completely holds up politically. The Hawkline Monster by Richard Brautigan. Why was she a child? Chaos by Tom O'Neill and Dan Piepenbring. Very cool, but meandering. The Eye in the Door by Pat Barker. So good, it made me mad at England. The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. I found this kind of insufferable. I don't know that I read the last 30 pages. I was just done with it. Sorry. The Lord of Opium by Nancy Farmer. I had just found out that this book existed and immediately needed to read it, and I didn't like it. French Exit by Patrick DeWitt. It was good. It was goofy, but it was good. Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. Very cute, pretty steamy, but I'm not big into these romances, but it was cute. This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. I have never laughed as hard as I did reading this book and wept as much as I did reading this book in one book. The Life and Times of the Thunderbolt Kid by Bill Bryson. So fun to read as someone from Des Moines who didn't know all this history, but I can't help but feel like it's probably pretty rose-tinted. The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This just took too damn long to get interesting. The Brightlands by John Fram. One of the strangest books I've ever read. It's like Friday Night Lights plus a gay cult. The Ghost Road by Pat Barker. Again, beautiful conclusion to the Regeneration trilogy. Still made me mad at England. You can see all of the ways that a government can fail the people they purport to be their heroes. Just saying. The Chain by Adrienne McGinty. It was alright, but damn did it drag sometimes. The Lost Daughter by Elena Ferrante. My first Ferrante. This book is like a duck on water. On the surface, it's very straightforward, but underneath, there's so much going on. Split Tooth by Tanya Tagaq. This is one of those that it's very good. I was not the reader for it at the time that I read it. I found it very difficult. Men Explain Things to Me by Rebecca Solnit. Very interesting, way more academic than I thought it would be, but it was good. My back is killing me. Okay, Martin Eden by Jack London. This is just an example of the ways that a classic can still feel vital and current and alive, and it was beautiful. I loved this. History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. It was sad as hell. It was sad as hell. I knew it'd be sad, but that was sad as hell. Last Ones Left Alive by Sarah Davis Goff. This was incredible. Finally, some fresh and interesting zombie content, and it took me way too long to figure out that Phoenix City is just Phoenix Park. Shuggy Bane by Douglas Stewart. The book should be called Agnes. Convenience Store Woman by Suyaka Murata. This book was so lovely and very short. Could have gone deeper, but it was just very comforting to read somehow. Trick Mirror by Gia Tolentino. I'm mad at how good this book is. The essay Pure Heroines almost makes me want to read Anna Karenina. Universal Harvester by John Darnielle. As someone from Iowa who loves going to a video rental store in my spare time, I love this. But other than that, this kind of didn't grab me. Department of Speculation by Jenny Offill. I remember liking it, but I could not tell you a single thing that happened in this book. I think they go to a dinner party at one point. And last book, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. This was very good. I think I thought it should be better because it's like, this is the best sellingest book for the last 2-3 years. And we're done. Ruthie, we're done. My back hurts. You can take these as recommendations or warnings. Yeah, if you want to look into any one of these books more, I will put a link in the description to my Goodreads shelf for 2020. Yeah, it was a good reading year. Also, I hope this kind of demonstrates what I mean when I'll read just about anything. Yeah, I read a lot of these when I was living in Ireland. Like, this still has a Hodges Figgis sticker on it. Thank you for watching. I really want to get these books back on my shelf because it looks so bad. Yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you next time. It's probably also going to be a very long video. Bye!